class? Okay, we have a bigger boss here. So we're gonna continue. All right, so try to be on time. All right, so mystery number 3 about entrepreneurship is it's all about cheaper and better. If tomorrow we're gonna start a business and all you talk about is cheaper and better, let me ask you, who has an iPhone? iPhone. Raise your hand. 我 iPhone 哎，请举手。Even before, you bought an Apple product? You're an Apple lover? Okay. You bought a Samsung? It's okay, I have a Samsung, so it's perfectly fine. Alright, I know. Okay. So, anybody who doesn't want to become an Apple company? Tomorrow you create a business, and let me ask you, do you want to become an Apple or non-Apple? Which is IBM, Acer, Asus, HTC, Samsung, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Tomorrow, we're going to create a business together. A, you want to become an Apple-like company, or B, you want to become a non-Apple-like company. Okay, raising hand. You need to help me to count the hands, okay? See who didn't raise hands. Red pill? Blue pill, right? Okay, you want to create an Apple-like company, raise your hand. Okay, you want to create a non-Apple-like company, raise your hand. Hey, you didn't raise your hand. Why? It's okay. 我不会吃掉你的。Why? Here's the mic.
I don't like.
You don't like Apple? I said Apple-like company. I didn't say create an Apple company. And I said the B, choice B is creating a non-Apple-like company. And your answer was C, right? 要中文吗？还是像一个 Apple 的公司，不像一个 Apple 的公司，那你选择的是 Apple 的公司吗 ？OK。好。Anybody want to? For the people who says I don't want to create an Apple-like company, who raise your hand? Okay, why? So you like cheaper and better? Why? Why? But why? Why do we want to create a better and cheaper? There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, let me give you a concept and see if you can accept it. When you love that product, it's no longer expensive. 当你爱了这个产品以后，你不会嫌贵，同意吗 ？Right. So what Apple really created is a product that people love. But when you create something cheaper, better, it doesn't say anything about people who love your product. Do you want to create, when you create a company tomorrow, do you want to create something better and cheaper? Or do you want to create something that people like and love? Okay, that's the Apple-like company. I didn't say you want to become an Apple, right? Good, boss? Or good? All right. So choice A, cheaper, better, or are we actually solving a problem? Now we're getting to the second part of the course. Entrepreneurship is all about solving problems. It's not about making things. 创业呢，不是在做产品跟商品服务，是在解决问题。Apple actually went to solve a problem They didn't just create iTunes and iPhones and iPad. They didn't create things for the sake of creating. They were actually solving a problem without you realizing. So what is the problem Apple is trying to solve? Anyone knows? What? No. You relate to your mom, your grandmom, and your nephews. No. Yeah, management. But what's the problem Apple is trying to solve? For your mom, for your nephews, for your grandma. No, only open to this section. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. What? They create a product that customer want? Yes, that is a consequence. But what was, again, entrepreneur, they are there to solve a problem. If they solve a problem, then people will love what they do, okay? That's the big idea that we're going to teach in the second part of the class, okay? So what is the problem Apple is trying to solve for your parents, for your nephew? When I say it, you say, I know it. Well, but you don't know now, right? So entrepreneur, you need to know exactly what is the problem. So what's the problem Apple is trying to solve? Make life better. I said that. You cannot say the same thing. Yes. No. That is the vision of Apple, but that's not the problem that Apple is trying to solve. 愿景跟问题我赶快哦。Now I'm going to throw a lot of words, and you need to map in your mind vision, problem, purpose, all this thing together. Okay? Good try. Very close. Whose mom actually use an Apple product? 你的妈妈爸爸有用 Apple 的 product. Okay, Jeffrey. So what's the problem Apple is trying to solve?
I think maybe we can let user use it without reading the manual.
Okay. Apple, the problem Apple is trying to solve is make everybody use their product without reading the manual. That is one of the problems that they were trying to solve. So they are one of the kind of company first come out with no manual in their product box. But that's not the problem they're trying to solve. What is the problem they're trying to solve? Want to say it because, I know it. Right? Yes, why? But what's the problem? That is a benefit of solving that problem. 不是 Come, more. Put everything together. No, not close. Too complicated. A bit more precise. You got to be very precise about your problem that you're solving as an entrepreneur. And it's very obvious when I say it.
Let the elders and the youngest connect together.
That's a benefit. Okay, when I say it, don't say, boo! They took keyboards out of their product. Yeah, that's what I was expecting.
They got what?
There's no keyboards. A lot of your moms, my mom, your grandma, don't know how to type. But now they can serve YouTube, watching Korean soap operas, and they can use Line to communicate with you. Says bring the grandkids home next Sunday, right? Without typing on the keyboard. My 4-year son watched Hainan Baba on YouTube without knowing how to type. All he did was type in the password, tap on YouTube, use Google Voice search, says, Hainan Baba. Hainan Baba came out. That is the problem Apple was trying to solve.
How do you make a free Sunsheet product without a keyboard? And as a result, the life is more beautiful, more easier, more fun. So you as an entrepreneur, what is the problem you're trying to solve? Instead of what thing are you selling? So if you flip the slides a few more, what's the difference between business person and entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs solve problems. Business person sell products. Right? Do we now have a deeper understanding about who is entrepreneur and who's not? And it's perfectly fine to be a business person, right? Good. Great. So let's review. Entrepreneurship. No need to make money at day one. Good or bad? Bad. Passion's all you need. Good or bad? Bad. Making things cheaper and better. Is it bad?
Bad.
But you pay for the bills. Look at Acer and Suze.
Bad, but it's still done.
What? Some people, right? But those some people are exactly like Nokia and Motorola. They're no longer there. So when you want to choose a business, think about this. Nothing wrong about making things better and cheaper. But try to think, are you going to end up being Motorola or Nokia? You need to ask you, why are you working 18 hours a day and not seeing your mom, your kids? Is it because you want to make things better and cheaper? Or you want to solve a problem? And it's very heavy, right? Is it heavy? Now we all need to be very calm and think about it. It's not about, woo, how am I becoming an entrepreneur? It's all about, what's the problem I want to solve? That is global scalable. I can solve it here in Taiwan, and I can solve it back home. We're talking about global startups. We're not talking about opening a convenience store. There's nothing wrong about opening a convenience store. You're putting the same amount of effort and love, right? But do you want it to be scalable? If the answer is yes, then pick a problem that is global. That people actually suffer, right? Here in Taiwan and over there back home. All right, so what do entrepreneurs really do? This is a very famous professor called Steve Blank, and it's on the recommended book, one of the books. I think on the course outline. If you really want to read it, it's great. So he's a person, he's an entrepreneur. He started 8 companies, 4 failed, but 4 other companies that he created successfully launched at NASDAQ, went public. So he actually beat the 95 failing rate. He actually has a 50% success rate. So one day he was asked to go to Stanford and UC Berkeley to teach business plan. Right? Well, who has written a business plan before? 有谁有写过商业计划书？请举手。Business plan. Okay, nobody wrote one. Who actually heard about the word business plan before? 有听过商业计划书？请举手。Okay, all right. So, what's the last page of a business plan? What? No, the last page of the business plan is said, thank you. Okay. What's the second last page of the business plan? There's always a section called 5-year financial forecast, right? Who actually know what that means? Raise your hand. Financial forecast. If you know what that means, raise your hand. Raise your hand. I know you know it. Right? 差不多. So what does that mean?
Like the business in the next 5 years, the economy, the expected growth rate.
So you put another zero in it, saying you're going to make a profitable company, something like that?
Like add another few zeros just to make it look good.
Look good. Yes. The financial forecast always look good, right? You know the answer. What's a typical 5-year financial forecast look like? Company growth. Business booming.
Changes in the business.
Okay, great. So he was asked to teach at this class, right? At Stanford. And he actually paused the class. You know why? Because when he went to create his A business, he said he actually lied on the numbers. He made up the numbers. Therefore, he couldn't teach students how to do it, or else the class would be over, right? It was a semester about teaching you how to run business plan, right? So he said, you remember, if you open Excel, you press 2 buttons, actually the number actually come out. That was a joke, right? Okay, thank you. 也就是 Excel 打开有个2个按键，你按数字就会跑出来。And that's how he did his financial market. But the business plan is still very important, he said, right? So, he stopped the class, he created new classes called the search class. He now recalled, among 8 of his business, he actually spent the first 12 months or 14 months in searching the business model by testing the business hypothesis, meaning who your customer is or could be, what's the pricing point, what's exactly the product and service the customer want, who's your target market, what's the solution. He says it's actually from a process of guessing and testing. And he summarized this called search. So he argued an entrepreneur at the first stage is all about being a searcher, being a hunter, right? And once you have completed the search and you are 100% sure, now you can write a business plan. Because all the assumptions are tested, you know exactly the conditions, you have actually collected money, and now you should write a great business plan to raise money and to borrow money. So business plan is great. It's just happened at this side. Today is day 1. Are we over here on the right hand side or the left hand side? Left, right? So we are in the process of search, including search for your co-founders and partners, right? So at lunch, I'm gonna do that, right? Search. This is a great team. We're gonna search what's the right idea. We're gonna search about the right pricing, the right market, the right solution. Okay? And you will notice sometimes a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't like to go to work, right? If you know what I mean. If your parents are entrepreneurs, please raise your hand. 你的爸妈是创业者，我有开店的，请举手。No? Yeah, your parents? Let me ask you, do your parents like to punch cards? Punch cards. You know, beep, 8:30 at work, 5:30, beep, off work. Do your parents like to do something like that? 打卡没有 Entrepreneur hates 打卡. You know why? Because an entrepreneur worked 18 hours in search. They don't work at 8 to 5. Because they work at 3 o'clock in the morning and they have to go dark at 8:30, they go crazy, right? So a lot of company in Science Park ask me, chairman says, how do I create internal business? You know what I say to them? Cancel your .com and people will work as a hunter for you. And that's the nature of entrepreneurs. It's not about freedom. Entrepreneurs are very disciplined. It means that it takes a lot of effort, right? It doesn't work at 8 to 5, right? When a customer calls you at midnight, you gotta go. You gotta wake up. It's called discipline. So this is the whole search. But once your business is stable, you get to hire a lot of people. So your employee goes back out, right? And he says, oh, I want to start a new business. And that's the nature of entrepreneurs. And we call that serial entrepreneurs. And the best example is the person who created Tesla. 电动车 He went to create 火箭 shuttles. Is keep on solving big problems. And that's the characteristic of entrepreneurs. So you need to decide, do you like to become a hunter or you like to duck out? And either way is good. So do you like to be duck out? Yeah? Or do you like to be a hunter? Red pill? Blue pill? Hunters.com will all make you great money, by the way. Being a stockbroker make you tons of money. So what's the end up country is not about money. So what kind of lifestyle or working environment do you like? 8 to 5? Or 6 to 12, I don't know. Hunting for the business model. Executing the business model. So what Steve Blank argues, really a company has two phases. It's called the search phase and execution phase. Entrepreneurs search for the business model for people to execute and make the EPS pretty. Both ways, make money. So this is another illustration of what entrepreneur is and is not. So that's what today's is all about, right? Okay. Since we're running a lot of time, we need to speed up. Idea identification. So, if you go to an investor, they always look at 3 things out of your business plan, which is market, product, and team. This came out from Silicon Valley. Out of the 60 years of teaching investing, we're finally able to crunch into 3 things. If you ever go to professional VCs, or if you go to a startup competition, this is not the standard. In 3 minutes pitch and demo, we look at markets, we look at product and services, and we look at teams. Okay? So that's explore more of what this is. So, what should you do as an entrepreneur look at? Market, or product, or team? You as an entrepreneur, which one should you look at? Go ahead.
So you just said that entrepreneurs, using Steve Blank's model, are involved in searching for business hypotheses. So